All four Gospels record how Jesus is sent to Pontius Pilate, because Pilate, the Roman governor, was the only one with authority to grant the sentence. The crowd wanted Jesus to be crucified. The high priest and the religious people certainly wanted him to be crucified. But what's stark and noticeable is that Pilate himself doesn't. And at first he prevaricates. "Well, I can't see that he's done anything wrong," he says, and the crowd boos at him. "Well, don't you want me to release him?" he asks, but they boo all the more. "Well, I sentence him to be flogged," he says. But in the end, Pilate's fear of the crowd outweighs his own sense of justice. He tries to opt out of taking responsibility. "Well, go on then, on your heads be it. I wash my hands of the whole thing." And, say the texts, Pilate hands him over to be crucified, allows it to be done, without quite bringing himself to say the words. It's something we probably ought to learn, one universal truth about human life, that institutions will do anything to protect themselves. Commercial businesses do, government departments do, corporations do, even voluntary organisations do, even religions and religious institutions do. It's hard for them not to protect themselves, to close ranks, and to use their power against whatever threatens to undermine them. The high priests do it to preserve the purity and the privilege of the temple. And Pilate does it because he has to defend the rule of the Roman Empire, and a popular riot against him would do nothing to make him or the emperor look good. So, to borrow a phrase from the high priest, as all this is just beginning, better for one man to die than for the whole nation to be destroyed. In the end, Jesus' name presumably got recorded in some Roman register somewhere, some record of executions, eventually stored away in an archive, along with lots of other names in a long list of the unfortunate and the unlucky. A few really bad ones, perhaps, but mostly just quickly forgotten. The ones who got in the way of something more important, who took up too much time, or really just caused everyone too much trouble. May God forgive all the times I reduce human life to that, when I settle for what just keeps the show on the road and stop noticing the real people. Forgive me, Lord, for counting anybody's life cheap or hard to fight for or care about for very long.